Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So you've heard me talk about these ramp into the report trades a lot. It's one of my favorite strategies around earnings, and I mean, increasingly, it's become one of like my go-to trading strategies around earnings. As the quarters have been a little bit more mixed action-wise. You know, we've seen a lot more sell the news type plays or lackluster responses, right? So with these rampant reports really kind of moving up like the focus list, um, you can kind of read into some of the action, right? And what I mean by that is normally, right, like when I screen for rampant report trades, and this is what I saw in UPS, what I like to see is a stock coming off, 1 to 2 good quarters in a row. I like to see it acting strong, so in like a good bullish pattern, right, which UPS was doing after it had bounced and reset above 210 and a bunch of its moving averages, and also in a relatively strong sector, right? So you want to see it in like a sector that's acting well, like a good overall bull pattern, and coming off a couple good quarters, right? So for the most part, UPS met all of that criteria, right, going into earnings. So when it's set up for ramp into the report, right, and I knew it was going to be one of like the big names reporting this week. Well, when you take a shot and you see the stock basically show no interest and never really get going, well, that kind of puts, it puts like some of like the warning signs up, right? Like when you have like a real quality pattern that fits most of like the signs or most of the indicators that or most of the elements that indicate that there should be some interest in a rally into the print, and it doesn't materialize, and you say, okay, maybe people aren't really stepping into this thing right now. Oh, excuse me. Maybe people aren't that interested in really taking this higher. Maybe there's not as much participation as the overall stock leads you to believe, right? So what I like to do on the rampant reports, and I've walked through this before, is like when the stock rallies, I like to either lock in money or reduce risk or adjust the strategy. And what that means is if the stock really takes off, more often than not, I'm taking the trade, right? Because the farther that something rallies into earnings, more likely it is that it's good news is priced in, right? If the stock has maybe a little bit of a move, then sometimes what I'll do is maybe reduce risk or adjust the strategy, and maybe I'll roll up to like lower debit contracts, or maybe I'll even turn the strategy into a strangle, right? Maybe I'll open up some puts or put spreads on the downside. But when the ramp just completely fails to take off, and I mean I wasn't able to lock in money, I wasn't able to reduce risk, then more often than not, those are the scenarios where I'm just exiting, okay? Because the pattern didn't play out. There wasn't any interest on the stock ahead of earnings. And I mean, in this case, UPS got crushed. Not all of them are exactly the same, but when I don't see the interest, right, and I don't have like a cushion to work with when it comes to the option pricing, then more often than not, I'm taking it off. And this is kind of something that if you're starting to focus on these patterns more, this is something that you should kind of keep in mind, have in your playbook. Then when the things don't work in your favor, what's the exit strategy, right? Like when the ramps don't take off, what are you doing with it? Okay, so just something to keep in mind. I wanted to put that out there on your radar. And as we get into earnings season, I mean, I expect a lot more stocks to ramp, but also there's going to probably be patterns that don't work. So you need to really manage the losers along with the winners. Okay. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.